Hi everyone, my name is Larry Gonzalez and welcome to Big Time Paranormal. Now, if you're not familiar with Big Time Paranormal, say this is your first time seeing this, I run a Facebook page called Big Time Paranormal, and I also have Julia Di Maria who helps me keep you guys updated on the latest news when it comes to hauntings, ufology, cryptozoology, cutting edge technology, photos that we find interesting and stuff like that. So we always try to bring the latest stuff to you, and we try to work in basically shifts. Maria does the daytime, I do the nighttime because I work graveyard for my normal job. So come over to Facebook, take a look at Big Time Paranormal. We have always interesting stuff for you. Thank you, Worldwide Paranormal Network, for always allowing us to come here each and every week to bring you guys the latest news for the past week. Speaking of news, let's get on with some of the news, and then we'll get on to conventions, and we're going to try some different things with the show. This is going to be kind of an experimental show, so let's see what we find out there for you guys. The first story is UFO film flying into Mexican volcano. Now, an unidentified flying object was filmed by the Mexican media company Televisia. Now, what they have done is there's this UFO that flies around a volcano and drops. It appears to drop into the volcano. Now, we were able to find it on YouTube, so we're going to actually watch it together. Play the video.
Televisa tiene dirigida hacia el volcán Popocatépetl, captó esta imagen. Vean, está impresionante. Fíjense con mucha atención. Se trata de un objeto no identificado que aparece, ahí está apareciendo, en la pantalla del lado superior derecho. El objeto cruza el cielo, avanza hacia el cráter del volcán, parece que da como un pequeño giro y después aparentemente cae dentro del volcán generando una luminosidad, sale como esta luz cuando entra el objeto. Hasta ahora se desconoce de qué se trata. Aquí estuvimos toda la noche sacando conclusiones, no llegamos a nada, pero bueno, usted saque sus conclusiones porque realmente está muy curiosa esta imagen.
Okay, so as you can see, or you saw, you saw the UFO spin around and drop inside the volcano. Now, the Huffington Post, who had actually did this article, said that they had asked his name is DeMonto, I believe it's DeMonto, who does, he creates special effects and is contracted by the U.S. Navy, Congress, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff in Washington to weigh in on the latest video. Now, I don't want to read the whole thing, but what he basically says that he believes it's authentic. It doesn't appear to be fake to him. Now, of course, because of the quality of the film, he cannot tell if it's a man-made object or if it's something else. But he definitely would say that it's not a fake video. It's authentic. Now, there's some, of course, that say that it's too grainy, it's too hard to tell if there's actually lights on the wings of the vehicle, to give it a name, to be able to tell if it's some kind of vehicle that's from us. Now, if you follow ufology long enough, you know that a lot of times there's reports about UFOs using volcanoes. Now, we don't know why. There's some that believe that they use the volcanoes as a source of energy. Some believe that they use them as portals to go from one place to the other, whether it's here to another world, another dimension, wherever it is that they're coming from. So there's always been that connection between UFOs and volcanoes, and you see a lot of these things down in Mexico. So that's our first story. Okay, so story number 2. This is a UFO story as well. This also includes Scientology, and I don't want to go into detail about Scientology. All you have to do is just go on the internet and check it out. Many of you know about Tom Cruise, John Travolta, Christy Alley. They all follow Scientology. and also their connection to UFOs and aliens and so on. So you can check that out yourself. I really don't want to get into it here. But what I did want to get into was that, and I'm going to try to read it a little bit because I want to make sure that the details are clear on what the article says. 3 passenger jets had a close encounter with UFO above Britain's Scientology HQ, as reported. A report has revealed. Their pilots each saw 2 flat silver discs as they lined up to land at Gatwick Airport, and some flew within 100 feet. Air traffic control staff then spotted a total of 6 UFOs on their radar before they suddenly vanished. The close encounter above the Church of Scientology HQ in East Grinstead, West Sussex, on December 30th last year lasted a full 7 minutes. Oddly, it emerged a day later that Scientologists, famously followed by Tom Cruise, carved a message to alien inhales in New Mexico, here in the U.S. The cult believes aliens inhabit human bodies. Former UFO investigator Nick Pope called the UK sighting spectacular, adding, "The evidence is first-rate. The witnesses are experienced pilots. There is radar evidence to back up their stories." Minutes later, a Boeing 767 and Airbus 310 saw the same saucer-like shapes. The 777 crew said they looked man-made and toy-like. So it'll be interesting to see. But this was apparently recorded back in December, but it just came out now about the story. So there's story number 2. Okay, so now we're going to move on from UFOs to hauntings. Now, it's always interesting to see stories where somebody buys a house, they move in, and activity happens. We've reported about it with different celebrities moving into different places and so on. This one has to do with the Japanese government. Now, the article, the title is "Japanese Government Forced to Deny the Existence of Ghosts." Well, how the article is, in Japan, supposedly haunted house has suddenly become a matter of national concern. Last December, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has not yet moved into the official residence that the government provides for the Prime Minister. Instead, he lives at his private home in Tokyo and commutes daily to his office, which is only a short walk from the official residence. Now, the article also goes on to say that there are rumors that the official residence is haunted by ghosts. Is it true? Opposition lawmaker Ken Kageya asked in a letter to Abe's cabinet, does Prime Minister Abe refuse to move into the official residence because of the rumors? The residence was the site of 2 coup attempts in the 1930s, which resulted in several assassinations, including the death of Prime Minister Yasushi Nakuda in 1932. Since then, residents and visitors have reported things like seeing phantom men in uniform in the corridors and hearing boot feet approaching. So, is the place really haunted? Why not? It could be. It's old enough. There's a lot of activity. There's been assassinations. There's been deaths. Anyone that does any kind of paranormal investigations knows that these are things that can happen, especially when you involve death, assassinations, old places. So you got that in Japan. Our next story I always like to try to leave the best ones for last, the ones that always get me the most. And I hope that you guys get a kick out of it as well. Man blames aliens for losing car. Usually I think of like carjacking or, you know. I'll give you a funny story. When my wife and I were first dating, we went to breakfast at a local mall. And we lost the car and we were walking around for about an hour trying to find it. I didn't blame aliens, but this guy did. This gentleman, a 28-year-old man, called the sheriff's office from the Crossroads Marathon Station en Route 800 Northeast Magnolia at 1:36 a.m. Pretty close to when bars closed. Stating that he believed that his vehicle was having trouble and he left his car. The man told deputies that he was instructed by subjects not of this world to drive to a field where an airport would appear. Build it, they will come. And he would be picked up by aliens. The man told the deputy that he had been walking for several hours before he made the call. Now, when they actually took a look at his feet, it was pretty obvious that his feet were all blistered up, even though he was wearing shoes. So he had been walking quite a ways for quite a while. After several unsuccessful attempts to find someone to take the man home, deputies finally contacted the man's roommate, but he was at work and unable to come immediately. At the man's request, Morrison took him, the sheriff, to Canton Hotel, where the roommate was to pick him up later. The car still has not been found. So, you know, aliens, they abduct people, they mutilate cows. Now they're stealing our cars. So, ta-da. Anyway, that's it for the news. Next up, conventions. Okay, so this is the experimental part. Now, unfortunately, I would love to be able to get a hold of videos more like this to show conventions and stuff like that. So we're going to play a video of a convention, and we'll see where it goes from there. But now, if you guys out there who are putting on conventions and you have put together a promotional video to promote that convention, make sure you let us know. Send a message over to Facebook onto Big Time Paranormal, where I'm at, so we know it's there, so we can go look it up and play it right here on the show. And make sure that we also post the link onto our page, and we'll make sure that gets to as big an audience as possible. We want to be able to help promote all of you with your cause or your conventions or your music, whatever it is that has to do with paranormal, because I know there's some bands out there that are also doing paranormal stuff as far as producing music. I was just listening earlier to a rapper rapping about the paranormal, and I thought it was pretty good. I wish the video was a little bit better. I would love to put it on for you guys. Not that I'm a big fan of rap, but anyway, watch the video and tell me what you think.
Kuwaitan Casino's Sault Ste. Marie welcomes the 4th Annual Michigan Paranormal Convention, August 9th and 10th, featuring the cast of Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters, also featuring world-renowned psychic Chip Coffey, haunted collector John Zaffis, and the head of Sci-Fi's Fact or Faked, Ben Henson, along with 18 featured guests. A 2-day pass is only $75. For more info, visit miparcon.com, Kuwaitan.com, or call 1-800-Kuwaitan.
Okay, so there's the video. I hope you like that. I certainly hope that you guys will go ahead and do something like that to promote. We would love to be able to play it here. So let me know if you guys do anything like that, because there's a lot of conventions going out there this summer and fall, and all the way up into Halloween and even close to Christmas. But let me know what you find out, okay? Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do this week is we're going to do some experimenting, and we're going to actually try to bring some videos that we saw on YouTube of teams that have started promoting their stuff through commercials. So we're going to play 3, and by the time we finish with the third one, I'm going to explain why I'm showing you these, okay? So the first one is Lost Lands Paranormal. So go ahead and play the video.
Are you ever curious about the things that go bump in the night? I know that I am. I found this new website, lostlandsparanormal.com. Come join us, hear stories, and share your own about the ghostly adventures that you've encountered, and have a paranormal day.
Well, very simple lit. Of course, it reminds me of late night. Are you lonely tonight? You want a date? Come to Paranormal, we'll find you a date. But that's kind of reminds me of. But the reason I like it is because it's very simple. It gets a certain message across. Well, okay, it's not exactly what the team does, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. You don't have to be fancy to make a video, okay? The next video is Zero Lex Paranormal, and this is their commercial. Go ahead and play it. Okay, so as you see, it's actually a very, I thought it was well edited. It had some good music. It lets you know basically what they do, how they handle the situation as far as examining evidence and stuff like that. I do enjoy it that way. If I was going to do a video, it would be more like that. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so then the last video for team is PIS. And this is their video. Go ahead and play it.
Mason?
Kent? Whew. Wow, ghost hunting sure is scary and difficult.
You bet. It's hard walking around in the dark.
Lucky for us, we're the Paranormal Investigation Society, and we've got top-of-the-line equipment.
Like night vision.
And microphones.
'Cause we don't believe in psychics.
Only real theories, scientifically proven paranormal theories.
Plus, we've got a strong team.
That's still growing.
Don't get scared.
Call us, we're prepared.
The Paranormal Investigation Society.
Amy, you've got to hit the button. Thank you. Call us today.
We do ghosts right. Cannot guarantee that we rid your house of ghosts. If it's a demon, call somebody else.
Seriously, we don't do demons.
Okay, so now they don't believe in psychics and so on, but that's okay. It's not so much what they say. I like the idea that they injected some humor into it and they had some fun with it. So the reason why I wanted to bring up those videos is, again, there are tons of teams out there, and you all have, well, at least I imagine most of you have websites, and you also have Facebook pages, and some of you have Twitter and so on. What I would like to see is is some of you guys actually go out there and edit some of your stuff together, make commercials, and we would love to show those commercials right here on Big Time Paranormal, right here, along with Worldwide Paranormal Network. If you guys can go ahead and make some kind of video, let us know. Send us a message again to Facebook, Big Time Paranormal. Send a private message. Let me know that it's there so I can look for it, so I can show it here on this show. Also, we will do everything we can to play it over and over on the Facebook page. We will make sure that you get as much exposure as possible, so it's always there for the public to see. Now, what I want you to do also is be creative. You know, there's a lot of people that can handle a camera, but do they know how to handle a camera? Also, editing, like I've always been told, editing makes or breaks a video. So have some good music, have some originality, have some fun, and let us know. We'll be more than happy to help advertise your team right here. Okay, so what I'm going to also be doing is I've been slowly working to put together I don't want to say it's a music video, but what I want to do is try to put some pictures together with some music and try to show some of the work that's out there of different teams and what they're doing. It's mostly photographic evidence and so on. So I'll be working on that on the side, and eventually we'll get it shown. Hopefully we could get it shown within another month or two. So it's just a matter of my personal time with work and so on. That's the only thing that's causing me to be delayed. But again, I want to thank Worldwide Paranormal Network. They do wonderful work each and every week. Remember to join us also on Big Time Paranormal on Facebook. Look for me, Larry Gonzalez, or Julia De Maria. She's on there as well. She is fantastic as far as helping me out, and I'm very pleased to have her. So until next week, remember, today is your day. Go out and make it happen. We'll catch you next week.